What's up guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing chaser stuff, as you can see by the title. We're going to try to figure out what happened when that Brown Chasers engine blew up. Before we get started, I just want to give a massive thank you to all you guys for your support and ordering that brand new merch that just came out. We still got some stuff left, a lot of it's gone, but I'll put a link in the description in case you haven't gotten to check any of that stuff out yet.
Oh, hello. I want to see this.
Johan found something already.
Yeah, this one was pretty obvious.
Oh boy.
I'm looking at the block, looking
Wow.
for the hole, and damn,
That'll do it.
the piston's crooked.
Oh boy.
Maybe you could pick that up, but
Should go get Adam, show him.
yeah.
Yo dude, Schulman, for 3 years that I've known me, can never find the hole, bro. You found it?
I found it. Right there. That is a huge.
You know what's
Oh.
weird? You can see the starter from here.
Yeah. Is it okay?
No.
The starter?
Yeah.
Yeah, starter's good.
Good.
Oh, starter's fine. Man, that is a big hole. God,
Yeah, but listen, honestly though, I feel like I've done worse before.
that is a big hole.
Worse?
Oh no, there's one up top.
Yeah,
too.
look.
Oh, top two?
Yeah. This is what happens
Oh
when
my
you. Oh yeah, the
Lord.
rod's still up in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure.
Holy moly.
It might be in the ashtray.
We needed that.
What?
Look up here, too.
Yeah, that's what happens with a piston engine.
Oh, yeah.
That's awful.
That's crazy.
That's
That's what you missed out on in Connecticut.
oh boy. Too bad.
Okay, just for clarification as well, would you agree with me, Johan, that it's very unlikely, given what the pan looks like, that any sort of damage happened that would have caused oil starvation?
Wait, so rephrase that?
Okay, I'm pretty sure that this was from before. So it doesn't look like there was any sort of pan squishage.
Right.
So it was probably maybe a power thing or possibly just super worn bearings. That's what I'm thinking. So I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Before I owned this car, someone from Monster Garage owned this car, and they'd been making 500 horsepower for a while. So who knows if it was conservative or if those bearings were getting their toll put on them. But we should be able to find it out once we rip the bottom end apart.
I thought you thought it was the load on the car. Like the G load.
It's possible.
Coming down that hill and then starved it because the pan's not baffled.
The bearings would tell us that.
Okay.
They would tell us if there's oil starvation.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it is possible too. Maybe just on the stock 1J we were making too much torque and too down low, and we got to throw a little bit bigger turbo on this thing. But that's what today is for. It's to rip this thing apart and figure out where we're at.
I'm like, no camera.
I stood here and I was like, this might happen. I don't know. Yep. It happened.
Well, it was real hard work taking this engine out all by myself.
Yeah.
Sucks that I didn't have any help doing this, and it was hard. I don't know if you guys could tell in the video, just got this thing all out myself.
Let me see your hands.
Yeah, I was wearing gloves. I was
Hey,
wearing
you
gloves.
got gloves on. Yeah. It's a thing around here. Gloves.
I just brought Colette back to the airport, and it was the most miserable experience of my life. Not only because she's leaving, but because the fact there was 3 inches of standing water, and I was driving the Supra with the drag tires in the back that already go all over the
Nope.
place.
Nope.
That's what the car was doing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. No, not
the whole
that.
time. The trucks would be passing me, and there'd be children on bicycles going faster than me on the side of the highway. It was rough. Look at this
On
thing.
the side of the height.
It's toasty.
You got 3 holes in this thing.
Fuego.
That's not the only thing that has 3 holes, Showman.
Yeah.
I don't know
We
what
have a
else.
firewall in this.
That's why they call it a firewall, my guy.
You're full of jokes today, huh?
Listen, that's the only thing I'm full of.
He's full of jokes.
Full of
Found the problem. Your shims came off.
Oh,
It could have been from the piston hitting the valve, or it could be the failure point. It's hard to tell.
Jeez.
so you think that could have happened first? That would make sense because it happened at limiter.
And then there you go.
So,
So your shim broke. This guy's jamming there. The valve stay open. Fucking piston went up, hit.
that would
based
also
on-
make sense because it wasn't under high load, and that's probably why it was like so. Like it didn't seem like a catastrophic failure.
Like it
it
didn't.
wasn't a big bang. It was.
Right.
It sounded like a vibration at first, and then the bottom end probably let go.
Yeah.
That was the last thing that I expected.
Damn.
So how would you avoid that?
Shimless buckets. So like what we did on your S15 engine.
I've never heard of that happen on a 1J. So would upgraded valve springs and retainers help that, or no, not really?
Not really. I mean, that's just a separate thing from that. I mean, they will create more spring pressure. So theoretically, maybe, but that's just the shim coming off.
We weren't even revving it that high either.
Nope.
That scares me, like, because obviously I don't want that to happen again. So with these, tolerances can get bad over time, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you're less likely to have this issue on a fresher 1J,
yeah.
like versus a higher mileage one that had been abused,
Right.
or take a stock one and reshim it.
That's
so.
why it's really important to like shim when you do valve spring retainers and you can, check for valve latch and all that, because this is what happens if you don't check it and you got too big of a clearance.
It's interesting that I've never had that issue either on all the 1Js that I've thrown cams in and not checked the shims.
Right.
So maybe on the next motor we will.
Yeah. Look at the spacing. I don't know what's going on in the cylinder, but that right there doesn't look right. Look at the spacing between the cam bucket and the shim to the cam.
Huh.
You should not see across the way.
I just got off the phone with Freddie. He did bring up a good point. This is pretty much the only JZ that I've had that still has stock springs. On all the other ones, I have Rankauer cams, springs, and retainers. So it's possible that it was also a valve float issue. It's kind of hard to tell at this point, but Johan's about to pull the head off and we can see what everything looks like in there, and maybe they'll tell us a little bit more. So this
So
is
judging by the look of this, your
Yeah.
piston broke before the valve.
really.
Yeah, because if the valve would have broke first, like the valve float, and your shim would have broken, you will see the mark. I would think, in the recess for the valve. All I see is the valve hitting the side of the piston in places that shouldn't hit. So I'm assuming that the lower end broke before, and this just has momentum with the rod going up with the piston, and that's when the valve hit the top of the piston.
I suppose the only other information we don't know right now is what the bearings look like.
Yeah.
That's like the last telling
Right.
tale. But all signs are not pointing towards oil starvation at the moment.
No.
So looking at the bottom of the head in that area, me and Johan both agree there's like not really much damage to the valves themselves, which leads you to think that the issue or the critical event did happen in the bottom end. Because you can see there's even damage to the bottom of the head here from the piston hitting, but the valves don't look like they dropped and made a bunch of contact and bounced around in the piston. They barely look like they got scuffed in comparison to everything else.
excited over here for now. He gets to give away stuff with merch again.
I love giving away pistons and rods with merch. We were just talking about this. It's like way too common of a thing over here. The guys in the warehouse are like, "You got more pistons and rods again?" It's like a weekly thing over here. Oh.
That looks normal. If you clean it with a paper towel, it wouldn't show. Yeah, it's normal wear.
So it's most likely not an oil starvation thing.
Yeah, it's not.
Probably just a too much mid-range power thing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like the torque limit of these engines is known, but no one ever puts turbos that tiny that make that much torque that early on in the power band. So like, let's say there's a bunch of dudes that make 500 foot-pounds of torque on JZs at 6,000 RPM. We're making nearly the same thing at 4,800 or even 4,000. I don't know what the dyno graph looks at the top of my head. It's going to put a lot more stress on the engine.
Yeah, 4,500 the top.
Sounds like we need to put a bigger turbo on it.
Oh, big set.
Brought over the White Chaser to the warehouse, but I didn't fully explain to you guys why we did that or what the plan is. It's a shame, and I hope you guys aren't upset with me. I hope you understand, but I think what I'm going to do, since I've already stolen the turbo kit from this car, intercooler piping, downpipe, exhaust, manifold, pretty much everything in this car needs to run. I'm in a bind where I need another 1J for the brown car. Drift Week is coming up really soon. It's like a few weeks away. And I know that JDM places are asking a fortune for 1Js right now. They're like $3,500 or something wild, where they used to be like $1,800. I don't want to buy another one, then have to refresh and do all this stuff. But this one I know is good. I know it's happy. We've already done studs on it. We've already done cams, springs, retainers, and it's pretty much ready to go. I've had it with that same turbo setup. So I think the plan, as of right now, I'm going to rob the engine from the Pretty Chaser to put in the Missile Chaser. I'm gonna go up in turbo size a little bit. I'm gonna keep with the 660 compressor housing so I can have the really good response, but I'm gonna go up to a G30. I had that same setup on the E36 and it was good before, but I think because of some tuning and mechanical issues, we were never able to get the data that I think that turbo could do, because it should be like a 3071, but even better response with a little bit better top end. So I'm hoping that will get us a little bit over 400 on pump gas, which will be perfect for Drift Week. And the reason why I'm okay with taking the engine out of this was because something that I haven't showed with you guys, because I had it at FD, I actually bought another 3.4 stroker off Titan. They had some deal where they got a spare motor from one of Turk's old engine programs when he was running the 3.4 JZs. So I bought it off them. It already has a Brian Crowder stroker kit in it, and the idea with that engine was to either use in the E36 or in the White Chaser. So I want to hear what you guys think on where I should put that engine, but for now it is technically my spare engine for FD, because my spare engine is now in the car because my block and head were bad from last year. So I have basically another spare engine. I just need a new head casting and a new block casting, and then I can have another 3.4. So in total, one in the S15, one spare for FD, and then one to go in the E36 or the Chaser. I know it's confusing, but even though the Chaser is an unusable stance car, I've always wanted a 3.4 in a street car, and this car is like one of my favorites, so I thought that it could be something cool to do. Or I put it in the E36, take the 1.5J out of that, which would also make this a great street car. So that's the plan. We're gonna rob this thing probably next week, put it in the brown car, redo some stuff, and this thing will go back to the other warehouse to sit until we have time to focus on it. So that is the sad but most logical plan that we've come to at this point. Happy to hear any sort of input or feedback that you guys have, but hopefully you can be excited that I'll have a 3.4 street car. It's not a Supra, as cool as it would be to do a Mark IV. It'll be my version of a 4-door Mark IV. So I'm excited. It was a fun little video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and what you can expect for the next video, we're doing a little fun track day for Johan and Matt's birthday that happened when we were at FD. Just because we were so busy with FD stuff, I thought it'd be cool to get for all of us to get some seat time together and have fun. So we're gonna go do that. I appreciate you guys watching this, and thank you again for all the insane support with all the new merch. I'll see you soon.